This is Star Wars Action News, hosted by Marjorie and Arnie, helping Star Wars collectors collect better.
But let's move on to the gift guide, Arnie, because there's a lot of fun stuff I found to purchase this year.
Okay, what is it?
Well, the first thing that you could get for someone you love or for yourself, I'm going to say a subscription to Disney Plus, because you could buy someone like a couple years or something like that. Or I'm sure that you can buy a gift card for it or pay for it for them for a year or two or whatever you want to do. But why not? Maybe they've been holding out on it.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's talking about The Mandalorian, and I know that there's just a resistance, including among me, to subscribe to more streaming services.
I saw a really funny tweet the other day where someone says, "Hey, I'm just waiting for the genius guy to bundle all these streaming services together and call it cable."
So I know a lot of people held off. I held off for a while, but finally I did sign up for 3 years because they had that about $3.50 a month sale. And if you paid for 3 years in advance, but a lot of people are holding off. There's The Mandalorian now, Mandalorian Season 2 already announced, Cassian Andor series, every Star Wars movie in 4K with Dolby Atmos, the only way you can get those movies. I mean, come on. You haven't lived till you've seen the McClunky cut of Star Wars.
Oh my god. Oh, McClunky.
So that, I think, actually would make a good gift. This is one of those gifts you give probably to someone in your own household. Perhaps your older children, perhaps your spouse, because I know a friend of ours whose spouse really regulates what they're able to subscribe to and runs the books, and they weren't able to get Amazon Prime because it didn't fit into the budget, and so this would make a very good gift for that kind of household.
Another thing I think would make a great gift is buying someone a year of Hasbro Pulse. It's $50. It gets them, I believe, free shipping still, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah. Free shipping for a year.
And then you also get first access to certain convention exclusives and other things like that. So, I mean, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I absolutely think that it's been so worth it this year, especially with convention exclusives.
Yes.
I do think that they could do a little bit better with the online availability of exclusives for Pulse members, but if you're planning on going to Star Wars Celebration in September, will there be a Hasbro presence? Probably. Will there be a Hasbro exclusive? Probably. And will you be able to get it easier if you're a Hasbro Pulse member? Probably. I'm not going to guarantee it, but that's the way they did it this year, and it has been wonderful.
It was worth it for San Diego alone.
Yeah, San Diego being able to get in that line, I'd have paid somebody $100 for the access I got for this $50. So, yeah, they gave us the first year free. That first taste is free, and now I'm a loyal subscriber. But I get it. I have trouble paying for Gentle Giant's Premier Guild. I have trouble paying for these membership things where you don't get something physical out of it. And so it's a good gift.
Well, it's like Amazon Prime for Hasbro stuff at their place. Mm-hmm. And then there's some additional perks to it.
Exactly. Now, something I'm putting on this list is if you've ever gone to Asus Film Models. These are not official figures. They are 3D printed customs, but everybody wants their Baby Yoda figure.
It's not Baby Yoda.
Well, okay.
A Yoda-like being.
Yes. Everybody's calling it Baby Yoda. And Favreau came out and said we kept Baby Yoda a secret because we wanted everybody to be surprised about The Mandalorian. And so Hasbro and everybody else found out when we did. It's going to be at least a year before we get a Baby Yoda figure coming from Hasbro. But when you don't have to deal with licensing and approvals or make it legitimate in any given way, you can be like Asus Film Models here who can 3D print Baby Yoda in 3 3/4 and 6-inch scale. It's going to be detachable from the cradle. Now, it isn't cheap. It's 29 pounds. That's about a $40 figure.
Ouch.
But it's a custom, and customs cost money, and then you have to pay another $20 in shipping worldwide. I mean, but it's a good gift.
It is, because that would be something that people would love to open up because people are thirsty for items for Not Yoda.
And there's no guarantee that this is going to ship by Christmas. They're almost doing a self-Kickstarter. When they get enough orders to do the production run, they're doing it. But could you imagine the joy of a Star Wars fan if they opened up a little infant of Yoda's species under the tree? Now, there are some licensed things that are out.
Yeah, now t-shirts are insanely easy and quick to get made. BoxLunch, I think, was maybe first to the race here because they've got this on various men's, women's, children's sizes, various different shirts you can get.
Seeing Baby Yoda on the front of this shirt makes me think that they are missing in one regard. It'll be out next year, I'm sure. The front baby harness, so you could be Zach Galifianakis from The Hangover with Baby Yoda instead of a human baby.
Absolutely.
Because that's kind of what this looks like if it had straps on the shirts.
It absolutely does. That's what I thought it looked like when I saw it. But they have a variety of different sizes and different shirts, so that would also be a really cool gift for somebody.
Now, what I'm putting on this list is a good gift because these, what you're looking at here, I think are the hardest to find figure variants since Force Friday. Before The Mandalorian ever premiered, people loved The Mandalorian. I just have to chalk that up to it being a Mandalorian, but having seen the show now, I completely am on board with that hype. But what you're looking at here are two variants. The first one is the first issue variant with the white cover. Never saw that. Never had a friend see that. Never had anybody be able to pick that up. And the one next to it is the Target exclusive carbonized version of the figure. This is an eBay auction that's live right now that I pulled this image from that was going for $110.
Oh, my heart. Oh.
So, yes, these are hard to get figure variants that the odds are, I usually don't put action figures in this list because chances are people have the figures if you're buying for a Star Wars collector. But these two right here, I got every other carbonized figure so easily, and every other white box figure. I found some Jawas at GameStop just a couple days ago, about well over a month since the release of the figures. But that Mandalorian, everybody grabbed him. This would be an amazing, this is like a holy grail of a Christmas gift that is not usual holy grail prices.
Another Hasbro item you could get for adults and kids alike, the Kylo Ren Force Effects Saber. This is the Elite Edition. It is $300, but these are super cool lightsabers. They make the sounds.
This is better than that. I mean, first of all, I've seen this on sale already for $200, and I came so close to snatching it up because the Elite Edition actually has the flash effects, because if you pay attention in the movies, when the lightsabers hit, there's like this green flash. It's far more pronounced in A New Hope than it is in the future movies, but here you clash the sabers and there's so many LEDs in this thing that around the area of impact turns green, and when you power it on, you can choose the speeds. You can turn it on slowly like Vader igniting his saber in Bespin, or you can turn it on quickly like Luke igniting his saber when he has to defend himself in Jedi. It's got a lot of very cool technology in it. And yeah, it is the first time, other than removable blades, that I feel Hasbro has really taken the Force Effect sabers above what Master Replicas did.
It is pretty neat to see in person.
Now, keeping with the Mandalorian theme, on our recent Marvelicious Toys, our sister podcast, we reviewed the Legends in 3 Dimensions busts of Venom and Spider-Man, and I have seen at conventions The Mandalorian, and yeah, of course they're going to hit on The Mandalorian, but now that I've seen a few episodes of that series, looking at the detail of this bust and the weathering, it is, I think, something any Mando fan would be able to enjoy. Likewise, from Rise of Skywalker, you can get the, oh, I shouldn't have smashed my helmet, let me weld it back together, Kylo Ren.
He's got a glue gun out there and clamps trying to get that together.
Couldn't just go to the factory and get another one made. No. He has to do some model work.
Yeah.
No, the Legends in 3 Dimensions busts are half-scale busts, so they are space efficient, and while Diamond Select did buy Gentle Giant, I want you to notice the price of these busts is about $150, $140, which is the same price as a Gentle Giant 1/6 scale bust. Now, these are bigger, they don't have arms, but I really, really like the lightsaber base on the Kylo Ren, you know?
Oh, I didn't notice that was a lightsaber base. Okay, that is kind of cool for the base. Instead of just like a flat base and standard, nothing there.
The Legends in 3 Dimensions line is something that has really been impressing me, and I hope they continue. These are resin busts, and again, a good gift.
That's something that could be a pre-Christmas gift or before. The Lego Advent Calendar, always super fun. I love Advent calendars because you get a little gift every day and they're super fun to open. I love blind box things, so it gets me right in that spot. This is supposed to be retailing for $39.99. It actually retails for $29.99 at Walmart.
Yeah, it's on sale this week. And the Lego Advent Calendars, I loved them when they were new, and then it felt like they kind of got into a rut. But now, look, there's a Porg in a Santa hat.
Yeah, I think they had that one last year.
No, that was the Microforce last year had the Porg in the Santa hat. The Hasbro Microforce.
Yeah. Okay.
This year, you get a Lego Porg in a Santa hat, and Chewie eating a little bit of what I'm assuming to be some Endor beast.
Oh, or Porg.
Yeah, he could be eating the Porg there. And there's a power droid with a bow on his head wrapped up like a present.
That's cute.
Yeah, this one came just the other day for you, so you can open it. It's not a surprise because it's an advent calendar, but last year I made you some custom advent calendars.
You did.
And this year, I thought you might have fun putting this one together and posting it daily to social media. Another Lego set. This is the one that just surprised me and impressed me at Toy Fair this year. I get that it's expanded universe that was brought into the Disney films, but there's something about Darth Vader's castle on Mustafar with its mouse droid and Vader and the Royal Guards. I just love this set. It's big, it's impressive, it's over 1,000 pieces. For a Lego lover in your life, I think this is like that sweet spot where you're not spending $500 to $800 on a Millennium Falcon, but you're not buying them a Microfighter series either.
Funko has some cute holiday-themed pops this year, which was super fun. You got Yoda with a Santa hat, 3PO with a Santa hat, Reindeer D2, and Chewbacca, who apparently got all wrapped up in the Christmas lights in some sort of bondage thing.
Now, I think these were out last year, right? But they're reshipping this year.
I think that's what happened. And I think they hit the shelves late last year, too, like almost not in time for Christmas.
Mm-hmm. And so they're out. I've seen them at so many GameStop stores right now. And again, this is kind of an earlier Christmas gift. You want to put it out as a decoration, but I know a lot of people in offices and things do the Secret Santa thing mid to late December, and it's not too late to give something Star Wars themed, and everybody loves a Funko Pop. I do think this is a great Secret Santa thing, because even if it's not going to a hardcore Star Wars collector, who wouldn't love Yoda in a Santa outfit? I mean, it's a Ralph McQuarrie vision brought to 3 dimensions.
In the wow, this is really weird category, GameStop has a Wampa Beanbag chair with removable arm. When you sit in it, it looks like he's about to devour you.
Or treat you like a ventriloquist puppet for those who saw last week's SNL.
Yeah, it's something. When you're sitting on his belly, it's kind of strange. But hey, somebody might love this. It's $149. I would probably wait for a sale on that one, though.
I got the Tauntaun sleeping bag from ThinkGeek, who is now GameStop, at like a 40 to 60% off sale. And now I think this could be posed very well with that sleeping bag.
Another cool item, the BB8 Tiki Cup. These are really cool. The tiki glass, whatever. Geeky Tiki's has some fun ones. There was a Han and Carbonite that I hadn't seen before, and it's square or rectangle, and it's really cool. But the BB8, super cool. And they've also got some fun recipes. They put a new recipe out every Friday on their website. So what would be a really cool gift is to get, you and your loved one or whatever, maybe some tiki glasses from Geeky Tiki's, and then maybe make the drinks together.
Oh, that would be fun. And
yeah,
alcoholism's always fun on Christmas.
It is. If you have to deal with my family, yes.
Yeah, the best Christmases I've ever had at the in-laws involved a lot of alcohol.
Yeah, but I mean, that would kind of be fun, to kind of make like a game out of it or an event out of it, and it's a together activity.
Now, there's also a Han and Greedo 2-pack of these, or as I like to call it, the McClunky 2-pack of tikis. No, I'm not going to get tired of that joke.
No, I'm not either.
And I love that Greedo. The Han, I think they do okay on the humans, but that Greedo Tiki, I don't know what it is about it. It makes me want to shoot it in the chest. And some more Tikis from Geeky Tiki. I think these are actually manufactured by Beeline. They use the Geeky Tiki brand name on them. But over at Toink, you can get a full set of these 6 original trilogy Tikis for about $120. And it's R2, Chewbacca, Yoda, Boba Fett, Stormtrooper, and Vader. And the way I see it, I think you can go for the character specific, like our friend Steve, who's the Akbar focused guy, just needs an Akbar Tiki. I just need a Greedo and a Han and Carbonite Tiki. But also, there are the Tiki collectors out there who would probably appreciate this whole set.
Now, if you want to buy something more traditional, Stance has some really cool socks and underwear. You know, the traditional Christmas gifts you get from Grandma.
I remember the year I wanted Castle Grayskull and my mother made me open underwear and socks first and made me think that was my entire Christmas gift. And then finally, like an hour after Christmas gifts were open, she gave me Castle Grayskull.
That's kind of mean.
Yeah, that's very mean. But it would have been better if they were Star Wars socks and underwear.
Well, Stance has the duo socks, and it's a set of 4 socks in a really nice box that kind of opens up. It looks fancy, but it's got people paired up. Like you've got Darth Maul and Darth Vader on them, or First Order Stormtrooper and the Red Sith Trooper, that kind of stuff, and Jango and Boba. So those are really cool, I think, and, you know, traditional Christmas gift. But they've also got a set of underwear. It is 3 pairs for $100. A little pricey, but they look really cool. Again, it's got the great graphics on it. They look like they're the boxer briefs, which I know are very popular with some of you guys. So, kind of fun gifts there.
As far as underwear goes.
Yeah. Next up, we have Stormtrooper beer. It's only available in the UK. This is something that Steve Ginger Prince let me know about. They've got 2 different kinds of beer. They've got a pale ale, which I would never advocate anyone purchasing, but they've also got a Pilsner. And then they've also got a cool glass you can buy, too. And they've got some other accessories, but they have bottles and cans and fun stuff. Again, available in the UK only. Now, if you want to go super duper fancy, Swarovski has a whole line of Star Wars characters in crystal. Now, they're kind of creepy with the human faces, and I didn't include that because I didn't want to look at it. Like, imagine Princess Leia just with no features on her face. They made Yoda. The Yoda actually is kind of cute. 3PO, I think it works well. So, I mean, this is certainly someone would enjoy this.
Now, something I would enjoy.
Hint, hint, hint. Is that right?
Maybe.
Maybe?
I mean, if I have some focus areas of Star Wars collecting outside of characters, it's Hasbro toys, specifically action figure lines, books, and video games. And when I found out at Celebration they were doing an arcade 1-up Star Wars game, I have loved these arcade 1-up machines. I never bought them because, I mean, they're somewhat expensive. This one's $450, and they're like somebody took a shrink ray to a real arcade game, because a real arcade, having one in the house, it's really big and it's really heavy and hard to move. And so what they've done is brought them down here to about 4 feet, where it's more comfortable to sit at instead of stand over, and it's a little bit narrower. But what I love about this is I have wanted a Star Wars arcade machine in this house forever. Because of the controller, primarily. I can play this game on an emulator. I could hear the digitized Alec Guinness voice talking to me on several different emulators and consoles. But what I can't get out of it is the controller like they had in the arcade machine, and I wanted that arcade experience. Now, I'm going to be honest, I no longer feel the need to spend several $1,000s on an actual vintage arcade, which is difficult to maintain, difficult to find parts for, all of that, because Arcade 1-Up came out with this slightly smaller version that they sell replacement parts for and everything, and is pretty standardized parts, and yet it's got all this nice case art. And it's not just the Star Wars game, because if you know about vintage arcade games, they didn't always ship new cabinets. When Pac-Man was a hit, they're like, how can we start making more money? When Pac-Man started to wane a little bit, they sent a mod board out, and the arcade owners, you know, your manager at Chuck E. Cheese would pop out one board and pop in another. It's mostly the same game, but now you have Ms. Pac-Man, right? And they did this a lot. Well, they did this for Star Wars with Empire Strikes Back. And then there's Return of the Jedi. So you get all 3 arcade games in one unit for $449. And now, I'm going to tell Star Wars Action News listeners a secret I have not seen anywhere else. When we were at New York Comic-Con, we were discussing these arcades with, I believe it was the owner of Arcade 1-Up, because we asked to speak to somebody in charge about an order I placed. And at Celebration, they were talking about a special edition of these that was going to only be available through their website. And they sell upgrade parts for their cabinets. Arcade 1UP does. And this, if you buy the standard edition, if you already own it, I'm sorry, because it comes with a plastic controller here, whereas the actual arcade game had a nice steel controller because it had to take some abuse. And they talked at Celebration about how there would be an upgraded one with a larger, better for adult hands, steel controller, just like what you had in the arcade, and an exclusive riser, all of that. Well, it never came out. And so I asked this guy, and he's like, well, I can't really talk about that, but if I were to talk about it, I'd say you might want to check the Home Shopping Network on Cyber Monday. So I have held off because if you buy this, you can upgrade. You can buy the steel controller, and like I said, this is self-maintainable. You have to put it together anyway, so you can pop on and pay extra for the bigger controller. But what has been told to me at New York Comic Con is that Home Shopping Network will have the special edition of this on Cyber Monday.
I hope it's on their site and I don't have to watch the shows, because that was on the other day on accident, and dear Lord, those ladies really went into some detail about some sparkles.
So this is an incredible Christmas gift idea.
Yeah.
For anyone. If you want to say you love them, this is the Star Wars version of the car with a bow on it. Just build the arcade and put a bow on it, and you've got it.
So, are you dropping a hint there?
Maybe.
Okay.
But then also, there's a competitor to Arcade 1UP, and it's At Games. Or we're Star Wars people. Are they AT Games? Are they ATGAMES? As the AT debate goes on. This is at Walmart and at Sam's Club. This is an arcade unit similar to the others. Now, take a look at all the buttons you have on here. You've got the knobs, you've got the joysticks, you've got enough buttons for 2 players to play a fighting game. If you look, yes, Star Wars is here. You get the Star Wars game, and Tetris, and Tron.
Is this a mini one again?
It's a smaller one, but yeah.
Okay.
But Tron, with the knobs, you can actually play Tron as it was meant to be played. Fix-It Felix, Centipede. Now, here's something interesting about this unit, though. Now, I don't like it as much for Star Wars as the Arcade 1UP because it's got the controller and the 3 games. But where you might like this one is this is a pure emulator. You can download your own ROMs and put any arcade game you want on here.
Oh, that's different.
And so with those buttons and those joysticks, if you happen to know of a ROM site with Street Fighter 2 or something like that.
Could you drop your Raspberry Pi in there?
I think it kind of is a Raspberry Pi.
Well, I mean, I didn't know if you could use the same cards and stuff as the Raspberry Pi.
I don't know because I don't own this.
Okay.
But I was reading about it, and there are regular software updates you can do to this, and then you can put your own ROMs into it.
So it must have internet access somewhere in it.
Yeah. I'm guessing it's a Raspberry Pi in a box.
Yeah.
But the box it's in is awesome because I wouldn't know where to get this controller that I'm pointing at. I mean, it's a dial. I guess maybe it's a Microsoft Surface dial.
It's a dial. I mean, you kept calling it a knob. I'm like, that's a dial because that's what Tron was. It was a dial. And
Well, it was also a knob.
It's not a knob.
It's a knob.
It's a dial.
Now, also, I have a lot of focus areas. That's why I have a podcast about collecting, right? Another one is Star Wars Christmas items. Now, there have been a lot of them lately, and I had to not be all in on Star Wars Christmas items, but I've always loved the Kurt S. Adler decorations you can put around, the Jawas opening the presents, and Boba Fett with the Han and Carbonite present. They finally have a new one this year. I have never seen this one before. It was up on Entertainment Earth. I already got mine in. It's Leia decorating R2, giving him the ultimate indignity of not being a droid, but being an object. Here, we're going to string these lights on you and you're going to put up with it. But it's smaller than the other Kurt S. Adler stuff. I was a little disappointed. The other stuff all seemed to be about 8 inches in size. This one's about 5 inches. So it's a little smaller. It was about $50, but it's still just a wonderful decoration to put out. I love having Star Wars Christmas ornaments and Star Wars holiday items around the house at Christmas. I'm really in a Christmas mood this year for reasons I can't explain.
Yes, you are.
So putting stuff out like this, it brings me joy.
Okay. Now, a new company to the Star Wars game is Royal Selangor, which they talked about at Celebration for the first time. They're from Malaysia. They usually do high-end stuff, and what they debuted at Celebration, they showed pictures of, was a document carrier that was a lightsaber hilt. Don't know why you'd need that, but okay. Now, they have some varying degrees of items on their website as far as price. I mean, they've got things as inexpensive as $19 and things as expensive as $1,800 with the chest set.
Yeah, I saw that chess set at Celebration and thought it was okay. And the thing is, Royal Selangor, they are known for pewter. And pewter is expensive.
It is.
And so they have some lapel pins that are nice. This Yoda, we know our friend Chris is a Yoda focus collector. This would be a good gift for Chris because I couldn't see Chris buying it for himself.
Yeah, I mean, it's $99 and it's tiny. You look at these things and you're like, oh, that's great. You know, it's only $99, but you're getting something that's less than 3 3/4 inches. I mean, they have a really great Death Star trinket box I thought would be really cool, but it's only 3 inches diameter.
Well, this Yoda's 5 inches.
Okay, it is 5. That's not bad then.
Yeah, it says 12.5 centimeters, including base. And so, according to Google, because I'm not a mathematician who knows how to convert numbers, that's about 5 inches tall. So
that's not bad.
$20 an inch, that's a decent price. But they also do have other items like this Han and Carbonite Box.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because they say it can hold business cards, but looks like it's kind of like a pencil case. And I'm not quite sure. I guess you have a lot of things to keep in a box, small boxes. But $179, it's a little pricey, especially since the bottom part isn't pewter.
It's not? Wow, that is...
Yeah, so you're just paying for the cover there.
It's limited to 5,000 pieces. And basically what we're saying is, again, if there's a focused collector in your life who would enjoy something like this, it's something that they probably won't buy for themselves. And that's one of the things we always try to look at with these gift guides, is to find stuff people don't already have. Now, this is 6.5 inches, 17 centimeters, so I think it's a little large for me to carry in my pocket with some business cards. But I wish it had a little bit more detail in the face. That's the only thing I'll say about the Han one.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably a limit to what you can do for that stuff.
Now, Regal Robot is another one of the newer people. Again, if you want to give the car with the bow on it, buy them a piece of Regal Robot furniture.
Yeah.
That's around, depending on what you get, $10,000 or so. If you want something a little bit more human gift, if you're not in the upper 1% of the 1% buying Christmas gifts, how about a Space Slug desk organizer?
Yeah, they had this last year, I think. It's pretty cool. Good price on it, and it would make a very nice gift for somebody, especially someone who loves the original trilogy. Another great gift is Hot Toys. They have a variety of them at Sideshow website, which Sideshow distributes them. And I, again, strongly suggest only buy Hot Toys from an official distributor. Do not buy them on eBay if you can avoid it. And don't buy them from somebody who doesn't distribute them. Otherwise, they will not take care of you on the warranty. Trust me on this. But I would suggest the Hot Toys Leia and Wicket. It's a pre-order, but it is gorgeous. I think they do an amazing job with likenesses, and they've really knocked the Leia stuff out of the park recently.
And if you don't want to do pre-order, if you look at what they have in stock right now, going original trilogy, they have the deluxe Boba Fett 6-scale figure, the deluxe Darth Vader 6-scale figure from Empire with the little gantry from Bespin. They've got Luke Skywalker from Jedi, and they've got even the Darth Vader quarter-scale figure all in stock, and a Stormtrooper, as well as more sequel trilogy stuff than you can shake a stick at. From BB8 to First Order Stormtroopers of all varieties, sitting in stock. They're having Geeks Giving, they're just ended, but keep an eye out. Sideshow is probably going to be marking some of those First Order things down further as time goes on. But the Ewok and Wicket, I'm very picky-choosy when it comes to Hot Toys because of the price, but that Wicket...
I know, he's adorable, isn't he?
Now, also over at Sideshow, they're selling a book called The Star Wars Archives, and this is I get it. The first thought is, yet another making of book of Star Wars? How many books do we need that delve into the background here? But this is an oversized book that is even larger than John Rinsler's making of trilogy, and it has recent interviews as compared to interviews at the time with people involved with the making of the films, and gives you yet another perspective. And I don't think you can ever have too many perspectives into the making of the original trilogy. This book was priced at $200. Sideshow has it for $129. If you keep an eye on Amazon, I've seen it as low as $104. Kotobukiya is also a company they've been a little hit or miss when it comes to Star Wars lately as far as having new product. They kind of slowed down before Rise of Skywalker. But this is a pre-order. We usually don't do those, but the Darth Maul Art FX Plus, I love the fact that it's him from that end battle with Obi-Wan. What's cool about this one is this Darth Maul is got a lot of interchangeable parts. There's 2 different heads. There's different arms, so you can pose him as shown here with his hand up. You can also have him posed with the hand down and the saber behind him. He's about 7 inches tall. It retails for $90. Big Bad Toy Store has him for $85. And yeah, I'm looking at like 3, 4, almost 5 different ways you can pose this figure with the different arms and the different heads and have a wonderful display. So it's nice to see the prequel film still getting some love.
It is, and especially with it being the 20th anniversary. Yeah, wow. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's a long time. But yeah, it's nice to see the prequel trilogies get some love. Another great gift, SH Figuarts. They're more expensive than a Hasbro toy, around the same scale. Some here and there, hit or miss. It's
supposed to be the same scale, but yet they feel about an inch smaller.
Yeah.
You can't really intermix them.
No, and people have tried. They kind of stick out. But they're highly detailed and highly articulated. Make a really great gift. Kind of a splurge item if someone likes action figures. $74.99 for Farm Boy Luke, which is one of my favorite Lukes. So, check out what Figuarts has got. I think you'd find some really great things in there that maybe would tickle your fancy or fancy someone you love.
If you're looking for older ones on eBay, do not buy from China. I did get a fake Darth Maul Figuarts from China. I was very upset by that, and it is not the same quality. And Figuarts, this is the high line that I do consider myself all in on for Star Wars. They just do such great job with the likenesses and the paint. I mean, look at that Mark Hamill Luke there. The hair, the pose, and with the interchangeable hands, accessories. It's an amazing figure line, but unlike 3 3/4 inch figures, I feel like you could have one Figuarts, take it to your desk at work. You'll have endless fun posing it and just have one alone. So that's, again, I don't think you have to take people down a Satan's path of collecting with a gift. They could just have one of their favorite character.
Yeah, Arnie. BioWorld has some neat office stuff if you have an office that still uses paper. They have a cute little desk set, and it's just the pretty colors of the gold. Gold is very in, along with rose gold. You get binder clips, thumbtacks, and paper clips.
So those are included, the stuff inside?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, because I just thought they had wonderful color coordination of what they put in the jar.
No, they're included.
Okay.
They've also got a tape dispenser as well as a stapler. The stapler's kind of cool because it kind of looks like an abstract design with the TIE fighters. I wish it didn't say Crush Rebellion. I just wish it had that pattern all over. It'd be super cool. So if you do have a paper-based office, this would be some neat gifts. They also have a really cool R2-D2 scarf. I think it's really cool. I don't wear scarves. I would probably wear this one with an outfit because it's kind of subtle. It just looks like you've got something blue, silver, and white. Someone would really have to know what they're looking at, but I like it. It's kind of cool. It's inexpensive.
Yeah, it's a good stocking stuffer price there.
Mm-hmm. The 720 we saw at Toy Fair, and they had a ton of stuff. A lot of it hasn't made it to the market yet, but you can pick up some of it on Amazon. And one of the cool things that they've got is their art department has integrated a lot of the symbols from Star Wars and made them into other things. Like this throw pillow kind of looks like a fleur-de-lis, doesn't it?
I didn't realize what it was until this second.
So you thought I was nuts just putting a throw pillow on there?
I thought it was from Solo and I just didn't know what it was.
No, it's little rebel symbols all put together. And see, it's really abstract, kind of cool. It's inexpensive. Kind of a neat gift.
Yeah, they told us at Toy Fair what they have is their own graphic design department. They don't go off the style guides. Like every paper notebook and coffee mug and everything just goes with the given art. 720 designs their own, and that way you're able to find something very unique.
Now, something that's a little bit more personal of a gift for maybe a spouse or a kid. Tom's has a line of Star Wars shoes. Now, Tom's is a very good social company. They do a lot of good things in the world, but they've also got some really cool shoes. They've got some First Order Stormtrooper shoes there. They've got some slip-ons for women. Their shoes are like super comfy. Like, I can't stress how comfy their shoes are. Very nice. I really like I've had a few pairs of the slip-ons that for women. Very, very comfy. Good, just throw on, run to the store shoes, walk for a little bit in them, they're fine. They've also got a line of slippers for little kids, which are so freaking adorable, and I'm so mad they don't make them for adults, but those little Yoda shoes, they're little slippers for kids, like indoor house slippers, and they're precious. They've got some Leia ones, just super cute.
Yeah, as a kid, I wouldn't have complained if, again, I got Star Wars slippers versus wool slippers that were brown.
Yes.
Now, you're going to have to tell me how to pronounce the next company we're going to talk about.
Soleil Cruise.
Okay, Le Creuset.
Yes, and what they are is a high-end cookware company. It's stoneware. It's usually a little pricey and not unlike these ones, but...
What is stoneware?
Okay, so you know what stone is?
Yes, I drive on it.
Yes, so it's cookware made out of like a stone material. It's really good for making pies, certain casseroles, things like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But they've also got like Dutch ovens. They launched a line of Star Wars cookware this year to tie in with Rise of Skywalker. So they've got some different casserole dishes. You see the Han and Carbonite one though. So the lid there has the relief of Han and Carbonite. They've got an R2-D2 Dutch oven as well as a 3PO one. They've also got a porg pie bird, which is what you stick inside your pie so your pie crust doesn't bubble up.
This is how every pie should look. From now on, this is how pies look, with the porg in the middle looking like he's eaten your pie and poked his head up.
Do you want to buy me the porg pie bird then?
Yes, I do.
So then I'll make some pies.
Now you know what your Christmas gift is. Because what is it, $200?
That's $25.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Yes, but that Han Solo casserole dish, I said high-end cookware. What do you think it costs?
$175.
$450.
What? I could buy 2 Hot Toys for that.
You could. Absolutely.
How about the trivet? We use trivets. We have new countertops. We use a lot of trivets. I like the Death Star trivet. Is it $100?
Well, the regular trivets are $75 to $100. I will say that I have had some of their trivets on my Amazon wish list for 2 years now, and I haven't purchased them because they have been $79, and I did not feel that that was a worthwhile use of my money. These trivets are $20. They've got the Death Star and they've got the Millennium Falcon.
All right, well, now you know what you're getting for Christmas.
But they're silicone.
Oh.
Yeah.
But they'll still be good.
Yeah, they're silicone trivets. They're not like the stoneware ones.
Yeah, because the Death Star one looked like it was metal, like a metal or a stone trivet. Metal obviously would conduct the heat and be bad.
No, the metal ones are usually okay, too, because they have got little feet on them.
Now, most of this is available at Williams-Sonoma.
Yes. Now, let me tell you something about Williams-Sonoma. They have lots of sales. If you're paying full price at Williams-Sonoma, you're doing it wrong. They run 40% off sales quite often. They run 50% off sales quite often, and that often applies to Le Creuset. So, it would behoove you, if you want one of these, to wait until Williams-Sonoma has a sale, and they will have a sale.
Good to know.
Yes. You just want pie.
I just want pork. Now, there's a lot of Star Wars books coming out. I mentioned that books are one of my focus areas of collecting. With Rise of Skywalker right around the corner, it will just have come out the week before Christmas. Over in publishing, they had the Journey to the Rise of Skywalker, which is in comics, kids' books, adult novels. Resistance Reborn has been getting great mentions from all the Star Wars fans I know who have read it. It's on my reading list to do. Even over in Marvel Comics, the Star Wars Allegiance comics tied into the Rise of Skywalker. So as people hit the apex of their hype for Rise of Skywalker, I think it's a good time to maybe give them some of the books that they wouldn't have had so they can continue to indulge their fandom of Rise of Skywalker after it's out. Plus, there's books. This is considered part of the Rise of Skywalker, Ultimate Star Wars New Edition. It is a character guide and an encyclopedia of Star Wars stuff. Obviously, they're going to have to revise it again after Rise of Skywalker, but here they have included some stuff from Rise of Skywalker as a preview to that. But every time a new movie comes out, there's just a checklist of things that I feel are must additions for my collection in the books. First, the art of books. These have come so far since the paperback Art of Ralph McQuarrie books I bought in 1993, and now they're an industry unto themselves. Every movie, every blockbuster film apparently seems to get an art of book, but I still think Star Wars does them best with all the concept art and everything. I just love looking at the painted renditions of what's behind the scenes. And then the visual dictionaries. Since before Episode 1, since the original trilogy, I have had every visual dictionary they've come out with. I love the little funny stuff Pablo Hidalgo puts in the captions and the over-annotated photos of things from the movie. So, again, if people don't buy these for themselves, these are some wonderful picture books. Even, I'm going to say it, there's not a lot of readers these days. People these days just aren't so into books. I love these because these are kind of picture books and quick read stuff and coffee table books. Likewise, this is the Art of Jedi Fallen Order, the special edition art book for the new game. And it is just an impressive collection with the slipcase and the lithograph that comes with it. So if you see your spouse or child playing Fallen Order a lot, this might be a great gift for them. Another gift, because I don't know who would buy this for themselves. I want it, but I'm not going to pay for it. The Fallen Order controller. Now, this is an Xbox and Windows 10 controller, so whether you're playing games on a PC or an Xbox, same controller works on both. It comes with a charging stand. It has, I love the paint scheme on it. I love the red, the white. It's just so cool. I don't know who's paying $140 for a controller when you could buy the entire console for $200, but it's an awesome controller. It's got programmable buttons. It's a really badass looking thing that would be good for any Star Wars gamer fan, even if they don't like Fallen Order. Similarly, with new movies coming out, shipping just before Christmas, the Rise of Skywalker soundtrack. Now, you can get this on CD. I imagine there will be multiple vinyl releases as well if you keep your eyes open.
Yes.
But right now, you can pre-order it on compact disc. That seems so retro all of a sudden.
You had a hard time making the transition to non-tangible media.
It took me about 10 years, but now I'm to the point where buying a CD feels retro.
I don't even know where to buy a CD other than Amazon, I'll be honest.
Yeah, this is Amazon, obviously.
And I don't even know I don't know what I'd do with one.
Now, the final item on our gift guide, though, and I think this is an amazing one, is a new pop-up book from Matthew Reinhardt, who has made 2 incredible pop-up books.
He makes some tremendous pop-up stuff.
He's able to do things with paper that boggle the mind.
Yeah.
And now he's got the Ultimate Pop-Up Galaxy book there that spans the entire saga of Star Wars. And take a look at the Battle of Geonosis there with all of the paper going on in it and just the way it pops up. These are not children's pop-up books. They're actually kind of fragile. You wouldn't want to give them to a little kid. It's not like the pop-up books I had as a kid, which I absolutely loved, where you like pulled the tab and R2-D2 walked through the desert. These are works of 3-dimensional art, and they have so many secret compartments in them, and Matthew Reinhardt is one of the biggest Star Wars fans I know. If you get his original trilogy one, he hid Akmina in the cantina in that pop-up. And here you get so many different areas of the Star Wars saga and so many different pop-ups to see. It's an absolute gorgeous book for any Star Wars fan.
It is. He makes amazing stuff.
So that is it for this year's holiday gift guide.
Thanks for watching this video. You can see full episodes of Star Wars Action News with more collecting news and reviews at swactionnews.com. We also have thousands of toy and collectible photos in our photo gallery. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. May the pegs be stocked and the Force be with you.